Chapter 11, Capture the Flag. And we're back. All right, Chapter 11, here we go. So, let me get this right. Jose rubbed his eyes under his glasses as they walked. You're saying that this tattoo is evidence that the guy from the diner is involved? I don't know, Anna. Dude, she's totally right, Henry said. I told you that snake arm guy was acting like an assassin. I never said that, Anna said as they walked back into the area with the shops. But I do think we need to investigate him, because if he's connected to the Vincent Gosen guy and the Serpentine Prince gang, then... Hammurabi's barking interrupted her. It wasn't the friendly sort of barking he did when he wanted attention. It was sharper and deeper and scared. The area where the orchestra had played just hours ago was swarming with police officers and airport security guards. Anna couldn't see Hammurabi, but she spotted Sinan's parents standing with the trombone players talking with two policemen. "What is it?" Sinan whispered. Hammurabi barked again. "Where is my dog?" Sinan's voice squeaked as he climbed up on a chair, searching the crowd until his eyes settled on his mom and dad. "Why are Ami and Abba with your officers? What is happening?" Jose took Sinan's hand and pulled him from the chair. "It's okay. They're just talking with the police. In America, even if somebody thinks you might be involved in a crime, you're innocent until proven guilty. They didn't do anything wrong. They'll be fine." His voice wobbled on the last word, and Anna could tell he was thinking about his own mom, talking with the police too, in another part of D.C. Just as Sinan's eyes relaxed, there was another eruption of barking. Over by the coffee counter, two burly airport security officers were forcing Hammurabi into a cage. Sinan tugged away from Jose and took off. Henry ran after him. "Come on," he called over his shoulder. "He's gonna get himself into trouble." By the time they made it through the crowd, Sinan was clutching the front of the cage. Hammurabi was all crunched up in there. It wasn't nearly big enough for him, whimpering and licking Sinan's fingers through the bars.
"What are you doing?" Hannah walked right up to the airport security guard who stood by the cage. He was only a little taller than Anna, with short brown hair and a mustache and a belly that hung over his thick black belt. He either didn't hear Anna or ignored her. "Excuse me," she tapped his elbow. "That's my friend's dog." Humph. He brushed off his elbow as if she had gotten him dirty by tapping him and refolded his arms. "That dog is going back into the baggage area." "But the storm has delayed everything for so long," Anna said. "He can't stay down there by himself." "Hammurabi gets lonely," Sinan said quietly. Another security guard came and lifted Hammurabi's cage. He nodded to the first guard. "I'll run this downstairs and you start over there." He nodded off to the side, where it looked as if the group's instruments had been stacked. No, it looked as if they'd almost been thrown into a big, lumpy mountain of music. "They'll check that stuff down below. The rest of the group's baggage, a few bigger pieces, I guess, is buried too deep in the suitcases to bring it out right now, but they'll go through that when the plane gets to Vermont. If there's enough evidence for arrests, the authorities will be ready."
Hammurabi's nails scratched wildly at the bottom of the cage as the man bounced him down the hall. They disappeared behind a door that said, "Authorized personnel only." Sinan's eyes pooled with tears. Anna bit her lip. Jose patted Sinan's shoulder. "You know," Henry said, "I got this game called Jailbreak where you're a bank robber and you got to break your accomplice out of his cell so you can find the hidden money and go to Argentina. We could sneak into baggage claim and bust Hammurabi out of there and then get on a plane to, I don't know, Mexico or someplace. Henry, this is serious. Innocent people are in trouble." Hannah took a deep breath. When innocent people got in trouble on TV crime dramas, there was only one way to get out of it. The real bad guys had to be uncovered. They needed to find out for sure if Snake Arm was part of that international art theft gang. "Look," She pulled them into a tight circle, out of the way of the rolling luggage and the coffee line. It's late, and there's no way our plane is getting out tonight anyway, so here's what I think we should do. We take Sinan to his parents and head back to B-16, so our parents, she looked at Henry, and your flight attendant lady don't freak out. We try to sleep, and in the morning we head straight to Pickersgill Diner, and maybe Snake Arm will be back for the breakfast rush, and we can see what he's up to. If we stay on his trail long enough, he might lead us to the flag. It's worth trying at least, isn't it? I don't know, Jose said. Maybe we should just let all this go. I know my mom didn't have anything to do with the flag's disappearance. He looked at Sinan. And I know your parents didn't either. If we let the police and everybody figure that out on their own, won't it all blow over without us getting involved? Dude, Henry looked at Jose incredulously. You are already involved. Hasn't your mom spent like her whole life trying to protect stuff like this? And didn't she spend like the last, 6 months or something fixing it? And now some bunch of creepy snake men stole it and she's getting blamed? Doesn't that make you mad? Excuse me. Well, Jose pushed up his glasses. Well, yes, but... Come on, Henry paused for a moment. Then he made his voice deep. The test of any man lies in action. Jose's mouth dropped open. You read Pindar? Huh? Pindar, the ancient Greek poet? You just quoted him. Henry shook his head. No, I did not read whatever. I've never heard of that guy. I was quoting Maldiccio. He says that thing about action right before he takes the crown in the game. No, that's from Pindar, Jose insisted. I will not steep my speech in lies. The test of any man lies in action. Yeah, well, maybe your pinhead guy stole it from Maldiccio. Anyway, his point was that you just can't talk about stuff all the time. Eventually, you have to do something. Jose nodded slowly. Okay, he said, I'm in. If being in means you wish to be of help, Sinan said, then I am in too. Anna put a hand on his shoulder. That's good. And we'll come and get you in the morning to help. Right now, your parents are looking for you. Sinan's mother had spotted him and was making her way through the crowd. There you are! She pulled Sinan into her and kissed the top of his head. It has been a long day, hasn't it, Janu? Sinan squirmed and made the same face Anna made when her mother called her Honey Bear. She guessed Janu probably meant something like that. Let's get you a snack and a pillow. Sinan's mother took his hand and nodded to Jose, Henry, and Anna. Thank you for being a good friend to my boy. They had taken only 3 steps when Sinan tripped over something and there was a loud squeak. Mr. Squeaky! It was the rubber clown toy, so well loved that its nose had faded from red to pink with white rubber flecks. Sinan's eyes filled with tears again as he picked it up. Hammurabi will never be able to sleep without Mr. Squeaky. He looked around, but the security guards who had taken the dog were long gone. Excuse me, he asked an officer who was leaning up against the keyboard. Do you know where I can find my dog? He needs this. You people are staying right here, the officer growled. Sinan started to argue. You don't understand. He will be... But his mother pulled him away. Oh, my Sinan, Hammurabi is named for a brave king. He will be all right, and he will have his Mr. Squeaky back tomorrow. Sinan's mother took his hand, the one that wasn't clutching the rubber clown, and started to lead him away. Wait! Sinan tugged away from his mother. He squeezed the clown slowly, and it let out a long, high, wheezy noise. Sinan sighed. I have to go to the bathroom first. He pointed towards the restroom next to the frozen yogurt stand. Be quick, his mother kissed his head. I will see you tomorrow, Sinan waved to Anna, Henry, and Jose, then gave the clown one last squeak and walked away. That's the end of the chapter. So, things are heating up, and I hope you had a lovely little April Fool's surprise in the middle of that chapter. I think you might have seen a special guest. Hope it was a fun and funny surprise, and it surprised you. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow for chapter 12. Let me check. I forget what we just read. For chapter 12. Yep, I'll see you then. Bye. Happy April Fools.